Ideas to help y'all be one more time. Forms Substack as well. And I got my good friend here. You can introduce yourself.
Cenat Webb.
Which is the black militant versus the revolutionary.
But sparking off Iran. Basically their economy collapsed.
If he were to be listening to everybody else, he would have been on kick by now.
Go.
Gen Z, what is up? Gen Z, what is up, man? It's not a podcast. It is a show. Episode 24. We're bringing the most pertinent topics pertaining to Gen Z, whether that's in politics, business, or media. The idea is to help y'all be perceptive to build what?
Perspective.
Okay. We got a slew of topics to get into, but before that, we're hosted on the Perspective Media Network. You can catch us on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, all the good platforms, Substack as well. And I got my good friend here. You can introduce yourself.
Cenat Webb,
Okay.
aka Pablo, aka that nigga,
Okay.
aka the realist, aka him, aka.
I'm gonna cut this. AKA him. All right, listen.
Can I do my?
All right.
All right, Cenat.
I do want to
The
say,
name's Cenat.
okay, Cenat is my right-hand guy. This is somebody that I've had a podcast with before, Pillars to Society. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. And it's a guy that I talk shop with for real when it comes to politics, media, business, anything that I do. We chat back and forth about it. So I wanted to bring him on. This is our second guest. But for real, he's like a, distant friend, co-host type of deal. So that's why I wanted to get him on the show to just be able to talk a lot of shop. And we have a specific topic to talk about, which is the black militant versus the revolutionary. And I think he's a perfect person to have that conversation with. But before we get into that, we have a slew of topics. First off, Iran has been in a blackout for the past 8 days. They have not had any internet connection that's leading out. And this is because of all the protests that's happening within Iran. In addition to that, Trump has threatened to enact the Insurrection Act in Minneapolis with all the protests that's arising after the Renee Good murder. In addition to that, Nick Shirley just had an interview with Channel 5, Andrew Cunningham, was it?
Andrew.
Something like that.
Cunningham, something.
Yeah. Channel 5, which he's destroying Nick Shirley, and it's just showcasing a lot of kind of like mishappenings that Nick Shirley has went through. And not like, obviously he's not a journalist. He's not no journalist. So him getting questioned on all the stuff that he's been, researching and going into and uncovering, it just showcases a lot of, him not having any professional experience within this. Okay. And then I want to give a huge conversation to Kai and him launching his fashion brand, but also a lot of the stuff that he's been posting within his media pack. He took a hiatus from streaming and now he's doing his fashion line and his other, productions and stuff like that. But I want to talk about the Dan Clancy video he posted about Twitch, which is very important and just showcases a little bit of some of the stuff that he was dealing with within the industry. We're going to talk about that. Okay. Is there anything else?
I think that's it.
I think that's it. Okay, so we're going to get straight into the politics, and then we're going to get into media. Obviously, it's just a couple of little politics conversations to have, and then we're going to get into media. So, just wait on that. Okay, so Iran blackout for the past 8 days. What you been seeing?
So basically what I've been seeing is it's honestly all around the world. The protesting is crazy, but sparking off Iran. Basically their economy collapsed. Inflation is up about 40% from the sanctions from the U.S. government. They've also been having a lot of inner fighting. And now it's just gotten to the point where people they can't afford basic goods. Meat, milk, eggs.
Hyperinflation.
Starving. These people are literally starving. So they're outside, they're in the streets, they're trying to dismantle the government, everything like that. But obviously it's not as simple as that because there's way more layers to it. So I was doing some research over there for probably maybe 10 minutes, and I found out who are the Negroes of Iran, right? They're called the Bauchik people. Hopefully I said that right. And their religion is not accepted. Basically, they're a very marginalized minority group, about 2 million people. They've had their water rights redirected, food redirected, their rights, land rights taken away from them, reallocated to the Persians. The Persians are the majority ethnic group in Iran. They've been shitting on these people for years upon years upon years. The Kurds as well is another group that they're not really too fond of. And I believe this is in the southern east part of Iran. Don't quote me on that, but basically what I'm saying is it's at a melting pot. A couple years ago, Iranian women taking their hijabs off in protest, saying, hey, like, we don't want to wear this. We should not be restricted to wear this all the time. Even men, because there's a lot of discrepancies. Like, okay, Muslims, like, men are the ones trying to keep them on, which is true. But in the same breath, it's like there's a lot of men protesting, saying, like, I don't see a problem with my baby girl saying, like, oh, she don't have to wear the hijab. Like, why is she getting ragdoll, tormented, getting shot around for not wearing her job? So you have all these factors, and now these people are starving. Every single province, they call them provinces, state, 31 provinces, they're all protesting. About 2,000 people have died so far. About 18,000 people are protesting.
Which Iran says that it's lower than those numbers, but obviously that's reported from the World Health Organization that reports on that. So
and I think you have to add a buffer to that too, because they're saying 2,000, it's probably like 4,000 realistically. So because they don't really know how many bodies. Like, you think someone's going around counting 2,000 bodies and not wrote it down? There's probably a miscount somewhere, you know. So
and also within Iran, you know, how a lot of this revolution and kind of or resisting and protests has been happening is that, you know, they've been using a lot of Starlinks, which is prohibited in Iran, but using a lot of Starlinks to be able to have internet access. But what Iran has been doing in the last 8 days to have this kind of like blackout, so there's no communications going out to other, you know, states, countries, etc. They're putting jammers in their systems to be able to stop the Starlinks. So which is just insane to keep up. But to think that there's a lot of people on ground that have to find illegal ways to bring in communication services to then, you know, output a lot of the information that's happening in Iran, and even that is being jammed up, which is it's just insane.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like they could definitely just. I feel like a lot of it has to do with the U.S. as well. Like they just bombed them like 7 months ago. That probably didn't do too well for the economy. I don't know. It's hard to come back because, I mean, Trump just dropped more sanctions on Iran, but
that's what I was just about to talk
they're
about.
for specific generals. So, you know. Man.
Do you know Trump's response? Or has he
He
had a
said
response?
some shit like, we stand with the Iranian people in their fight to protest. And, you know, I really don't know
That's
too much.
funny.
All I know is it's hypocritical towards us, though.
Yeah.
Because you got people outside, you literally demonize the leftist groups, same way, well, not at the same extent as the Iranians demonize the Baltic people, but how we're murderers, agitators, and everything. Like calling Renee Good a terrorist, like so uncalled for. It's sick, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Within other news, obviously talk about Minneapolis and Trump threatening to enact the Insurrection Act. What you think about that?
Like I thought it was World War II, not World War II. I thought we were going to Civil War. There's this good movie on Prime Video. It's called Civil War, and they literally like laid out the depiction of it. And personally, I feel that movies predict the future to a certain degree.
All right.
Terminator, The Matrix, Interstellar. You got Elon Musk talking about going to the moon and shit. Like, these movies be like 10, 20 years prior. George Orwell, 1984. You know what I'm saying? Like, the media space, I feel like it has a lot of, they're telling you what's about to happen.
Yeah.
So I saw that movie. It came out 2 years ago, and I like immediately was like, this shit is very concerning. So
yeah, I think with Trump trying to, or just threatening the Insurrection Act, I think at this point it's like, what scares me is that we have 3 more years, and obviously that's been like a main talking point for a lot of people. But like, to get a lot of the stuff done that we're talking about, like if he wants to continue to usurp a lot of the democratic processes that we do have, that allows for us to, you know, hold him in check, a lot of that has been undone within the last year, you know, and he showcased through showcases of power that this doesn't just have to go through like congressional approval or anything like that. Man, if he wants to enact this, he's going to be able to, and if he's given a viable reason or given enough leeway, then he will take it. You know, I don't think Minneapolis is at that point where they need the Insurrection Act. But let's say, you know, he could find some type of ways to be able to justify it. Let's say if that happens in New York and it gets way worse, You know, like think about the different stages of this that it can get to. And again, that's why I say within 3 years, there's a lot of time for ICE to continue to ramp up and for people on ground and the people to ramp up. And if both ends are not seeing any conflict resolution, and the people should not obviously be dealing with that, then all we're going to see is just more civil unrest. And that's what's happening at the moment, and more leeway and reason for him to just be like, oh, I'm going to enact this Insurrection Act.
I feel like it's a strategy for the midterm elections. Like, I think he's really trying to, like, push that Insurrection Act, and then, boom, we don't have those elections no more. Because I think he did say that he would get impeached.
Yeah,
Steve Bannon came out talking about how they're going to kill us all, and I don't know. They're super radical. They're becoming super radical all the time. It's just concerning, to be honest with you. And I know for a fact, if he calls that Insurrection Act on Minneapolis, somehow troops are going to end up in New York. I know that for a fact, because he was threatening New York months ago with Mondani.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they're cool now. I don't know how that's going on. He literally threatened to denaturalize Mondani, but all these blue states, goners. Yo, you know something I was looking at too was because I was getting I've been seeing you videos like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
like losing my fucking mind.
I feel like anybody in politics right now,
no, like,
that's the vibe. It's just
literally, bro.
Yo,
but
everything getting sent around right now.
That website, governmenttrack.us.
Oh, I saw that.
You're able to see who's your county legislator, not your county legislator, the U.S. representatives, your districts, your senators, all of that. But what you should also look at is what counties were red. You see what I'm saying?
Don't stop backing up.
Sorry, what counties were red? Right, because if he applied this insurrection now, is he very intelligent? Probably not. But these may be the basis for where the troops would be deployed at. I'm just saying. Dutchess County went blue. Thank God. Ulster County's blue. Putnam County went red. Most of the New York County states went red. These maps are a little disturbing too. The electoral colleges. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's something you definitely do some research into.
Yeah, man. I don't know. When I think about this stuff, I keep thinking about like America First and that whole movement that's like pushing now. That's like supposed to be absent of MAGA, but at this point, it's like, man, I don't know. I was looking at that Elon tweet, and he was talking about white solidarity and saying that like, yo, look at how they're treating us now. If the minority was in power, look what they would do to us. It'd be cruel. It'd be I don't want to put words in their mouth, but cruel, etc. This is why they can't be in power. This is why we need to have white solidarity. And he retweeted that. And it's like, bro, we're seeing the biggest players in the world right now ramp up this type of rhetoric, but also match it with Militant. Yeah. And that's what's happening right now, is that you're seeing people, which is very unprecedented. You're seeing soldiers, but real just regular people in masks go around and terrorizing people in the streets. It's just unprecedented. Yeah. Okay, let's get a little bit into the Nick Shirley Channel 5 interview. So this just dropped. If you don't know who Nick Shirley is, he's the guy that went into Minnesota and Minneapolis to discover all these scams that's happening when it comes to Somali people. And he was one of the main people that says, hey, these are the Somali people that are doing these scams and stuff like that. After days have, passed and they went there and reviewed this stuff, a lot of the daycares that he went to wasn't even active. I think 2 of the daycares that he went to was active, and they were visited by the state in the last couple of months. Now, granted, am I saying that there's scams that's not happening? No, there's probably scams happening, but there's scams happening all around America. Yeah. That's typical, really typical. I mean, we have towns over here with different communities of people. In New York specifically, communities of people that I'm sure is running scams based off of just having their own communities and churches and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like these type of there's ways to usurp the gov. Now, there's a lot of people that's being critical of Nick Shirley at the moment because we realized after watching that video, man, what type of journalist, principles did you use in order to get this done? It seemed like a complete hit piece on the Somalian people, but also a little bit of stuff that he's found, and he just went to go try to figure it out. But again, this is when a YouTuber versus a journalist is made of that distinction. And in this interview from Andrew or on Channel 5 of Nick Shirley, it exposed that. You want to talk a little bit about it?
I personally, I was super frustrated by it, right? So I fucked with Nick Shirley. right? I knew about him. I knew about him from the Brazilian favelas. Okay, real ones know the Brazilian favelas. It was crazy. I'm like, this guy's going around the world. He's getting in-person interactions with like protests. I think he was after like the Sri Lanka protest or something like that. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Then I seen this boy next to Trump. He got like a committee, some type of Nobel Peace Prize from Trump. And I was like, oh, okay. So you on this side. Got you. But, you know, I still watch the videos because I'm like, it's informative. It's giving me on his details of what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really notice what he was doing because with these live streams, with these videos, I didn't really see that much rhetoric in it, personally. Mm-hmm. Maybe I was being oblivious to it. I don't know. But he was like the only person that was at these riots or these protests. And he was going around the world, first of all. You know what I'm saying? I think he was like in France. He was in Britain. Britain was having, you know, so
yeah.
He's an interesting figure, but you know, watching the video, it's like he's honestly like really slow, and I think we came to the conclusion that he might be what you say, government psyop.
Government psyop. Listen.
Psyop?
I was letting you get your stuff off. So I'm watching this interview. I'm seeing the clips come through. Right? What's a clip that comes through? You can explain the clip.
When he talks about he was the only American journalist that was able to interview the Citico in El Salvador.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So from I know what Nick Shirley was that El Salvador video when he went to the prisons. We couldn't find out that video dropped about 13 months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like about a year ago, right? Which is very interesting, right? Because this is when when Trump and all of them are coming into presidency. This makes a lot of sense. Now, the reason why I think Nick Shirley is a government psyop is because from the Channel 5 interview, we find out there's nobody else that has a connect into the El Salvador prison like that to be able to go speak about this stuff other than Nick Shirley. He did not, you know, he couldn't get that connect to Channel 5 or whatever like that. He's one of the only journalists that has that connect, which is interesting to me because I'm like, how would you receive that? You know, of course he's went to a couple of other places in the world and stuff like that, but those type of connects is hard to get and hard to receive. And I'm thinking as Trump is coming into office and they already have their plans of doing mass deportations, which is rounding people up, throwing them in facilities and then deporting them into different places, different countries that they're not from, like El Salvador. Oh, okay. If they're soft launching in El Salvador video, it's like he's like, oh man, look at this prison, and they're showing 80 inmates on a bunk bed. Oh, look at this. This is pretty nice. And then they're gonna show different rehabilitation type of prisons, which is basically marketing those prisons. And I'm like, why are you marketing prisons? And then it makes it a little bit more sense when they're sending people to those prisons. That makes it a little bit more sense. And I want to talk about that a little bit in juxtaposition to the CBS 60-minute special. And if you don't know about the CBS 60-minute special, you can find it on Twitter. They pulled it because it was supposed to drop on all platforms when it comes to CBS, but they were scared of Trump's administration and how they were going to deal with them reporting on El Salvador without getting their comments. But ultimately, I think Nick Shirley is a government psyop. I think he's being utilized by the party, the Republican Party, to be able to put and say, hey, look at this guy, go research these people. And it distracts from what? The Epstein files. Yep. It distracts from all the BS that's happening within Congress where nothing is really getting passed aside from the big, beautiful bill. You see what I'm saying? Like that, these are where these problems are arising. And I think, you know, Nick Shirley is at the crux of this. So don't get blinded by this, in my opinion. I think this guy is pretty corny. You could see it with the framing and how he wants to talk about a lot of this stuff. Honestly, I want to play a little bit of a clip from the Channel 5 interview so y'all get a little bit of what's happening. So let me play that.
The interviewer was so nice, so graceful with him, like literally trying to help him out in the system at every given point, and he just kept going on.
So here's an example.
It's just simple supply and demand. If you have
you gotta come up.
You know, like people who need to come and buy a house or rent an apartment, and you have other people who need it, you're gonna raise the prices.
Landlords have been raising the prices systematically since the 1980s. I mean, the reason you can't buy a house is not because of an immigrant. I mean, they want us to think that because it's an easier scapegoat.
Well, if you look at the graphs, when you receive all this immigration.
All right, let me pause that real quick. Let me pause that real quick. If you look at the graphs, I want you to know that Nick Shirley did not look at one graph. He didn't look at one graph before he said that. And I want y'all to recognize the willful ignorance, because my friend Kanai, he was like, oh, we have a friend like this. Well, we have a friend like this that does the same exact stuff. And I tried to say, he's like, oh, he's such a meathead, da-da-da. Nah, it's not meathead activity. This is willful ignorance. He knows exactly that he does not know what he's talking about. But he's still on the mic saying, well, look at the graphs. Nah, man. You just want to perpetuate rhetoric. That's what you want to do. You want to perpetuate negative rhetoric on all them immigrants for no reason, saying that housing prices is going up because of that, and you're not looking at BlackRock.
I feel like he's mentally challenged, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I really do. Like, I think, all right, maybe he's ignorant to a certain degree, but even in the interview, he was like, oh, I got decent grades in high school. Bro, like,
he's a meathead.
I feel like you can't, like, he's literally giving him reasons. He's talking to him. Like I said, he's walking him. He's walking to the answer. He's trying to give him a chance to be like, hey, do you actually mean that? Because I'm telling you what this is. And he continues to talk about some other bullshit. Like, there's some type of autism there. No. There's something there. Very low level divergency
that's
there.
That's called white supremacy, and it's a mental illness. Yes, that's called white supremacy, and it's a mental illness. And that causes you to not care about anything he's saying. You got this guy right in front of you telling you, hey, that's actually not true. No, you can't cause it. That correlation does not mean causation. That just because that makes a little bit of sense to you in your mind, oh, supply and demand. Nah, but you actually have to see what it is. And he's like, but look at the graphs. You know who does that? Trump. That's what we're talking about. And you know who probably pays him? Trump. Let's talk about that. Allegedly, I don't know, but I could imagine if he was soft launching prisons 13 months ago, and now they're putting people in prisons, the same prisons that he was soft launching 13 months ago. I don't know. That seems like a lot of synergy to me. And when JD Vance and Elon Musk and all these people are reposting him, it seems like a lot of synergy to me. I don't know. I think that's some government psyop stuff, but we should.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get off of this.
Yeah. No, I was going to bring up, I wish you played the clip of him talking about the Somalians and how, like, the daycare center, why aren't there Spanish people, Mexicans, black people, and white people in there? And then he brings up how, like, the Somalian community was complaining about a black bar, and they ended up getting it closed down and saying it's unfair to white people and stuff. Like, I just feel like that's so... Every accusation is a projection. I forgot who said that. I think it was maybe Hassan or some political commentator, but every accusation they have is literally a projection. So that's what I gotta say.
Okay. Next off, let's get into a little media snapshot. So listen, it's gonna be a cool conversation. First off, I want to talk about Kai. Kai has been killing it right now within the media space. He just came back after his hiatus when it comes to streaming. He didn't come back to streaming now. He might have said that he's quit streaming. And people are, got all their questions and stuff like that. But first off, I want to say the content packs that Kai has been releasing about his mental and everything like that is just a perfect way for a black guy or a black man or a young boy or young person to learn how to reset themselves. Take a step back. You don't have to post that much. Go do your readings. Go invest into some passion projects that you care about. And then come back when you're reserved and you have your clarity and be able to talk about what you went through. That's a perfect reset. And just to see that as a creator is amazing to see for Kai. So hats off to that. Now I want to talk about the humiliation ritual that I feel like is universal to a lot of black people's experiences. I feel like when you reach any level of success or you're trying to achieve a different type of success, there's roadblocks that comes in. And those roadblocks is not just life. Sometimes those roadblocks are racial. And I think what Kai is alluding to and what he posted about is an example of that. So let me play this clip right here he posted this on his second Instagram or whatever, Finsta.
I guarantee you it was edited.
It didn't look edited.
Did he tell you what I said?
This is him talking to the Twitch CEO.
No, I'll tell you what I said. Tell you exactly what I said. Miz gave his Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Right? And then he gave like OG. He gave like Soda Poppin' and Rectal and all these OG.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, I guess for some people, Mount Rushmore is for the OG.
Yeah. I've seen that, yeah.
Okay. And so if that is your thing, then Kai and Speed are at the top of the heap now.
No, you said no.
And then
you
so
said
therefore Kai and Speed wouldn't be
Hold
on.
them
No, I said
accountable.
they're at the top of the heap now. So then
Hold
Kai
it.
and Speed wouldn't be on Mount Rushmore.
no. You said to Miz. You said the only reason why you put me on Mount Rushmore is because you was in front of me. Yeah, it's okay, bro.
Okay, I might have said that, but that's just talking to me.
I told John though. Like, I thought
Okay,
that,
I might have said, but then they I guarantee you I might have said that, but they edited where they said, oh,
It's
I wouldn't
okay.
have them on there. I never said that. Okay.
I seen it, but it's all good though.
Didn't even apologize.
I guarantee
Didn't even
you it was
apologize.
edited.
It didn't look.
Listen, Kai, thank you for showcasing that. Thank you for showcasing that, because I feel like that's not just a Kai experience. That's a universal experience within success, and having to go through places and systems in which you don't own or your people don't own, and you have to be subject to this. Kai's reached the pinnacle of streaming, right? Streamer University, Mafiathon, and I don't even know the numbers he hit. Like first, what was it?
It was like a million.
Like a million or something like that
subs.
subscribers.
Yep.
And even the Twitch CEO can't even be accountable and saying, yo, and giving him his praise or his props. It always has to be I don't know, like a humiliation ritual or a humbling. It always has to be a humbling. In that moment right there, and I'm not going to, touch on this too much, but I want to go back to that reset. I feel like J. Cole's going through the same thing, and he's talking about this in the fall off. But when you reach that level of success and you get to the hoop and you're about to take your shot and you just suck that bit. You just let it go. Because at some points, it's not worth it. And at some points, you're looking at what the industry looks like and what your life is matching and your energy. And it goes, bro, I am more than this. And he is more than that. He's more than all those platforms, Twitch, Kick, anything. He is more than all those platforms. And I'm glad that he recognizes his wealth and his worth in this space, because ultimately it's not just about him. He represents a lot. He represents our creator. And I think Kai, with how he's moving in the business happenings, is going to be one of our first billionaires as a creator. For real. Now, in addition to that, I did want to say that with Kai starting off his clothing brand, or this is a message to Kai in general, Kai starting off his clothing brand, I think it's amazing, right? Again, I do think it's very important that we stress ownership. Kai might be funding 70% of it, so he wants 70% of the ownership, and he wants to give out 30%. Kai, please, I wish that Kai holds on to that end of the 30%, or if he's going to go find different funding, all right, go to your black billionaires that you know. Go to the networks that you know. That doesn't have to be maybe Louis Vuitton, or doesn't have to be other huge conglomerates that might have their own interests and they have their own business ways that do a hostile takeover. Don't sleep on that. If you can get investors that look like you, that care about the same things that you care about, then you're upholded by the community. And I want Kai to be upholded by the community in that way, so we can support the brand and be like, yo, look at this black-owned fashion house, Vivette. I think that would be amazing. Now, a little bit on the humbling piece, I do want to bring up Frantz Fanon. Frantz Fanon, if anybody does not know, is a revolutionary. He's a revolutionary from 1940s. He fought in World War II for France when France fell to Nazi Germany. He fought for France and then came back after the war. And once he won all his medals and accolades and stuff like that, they didn't allow him to go in that march and showcase and all the pictures and stuff like that when they won the war. Most of the soldiers, all the black soldiers that served in World War II, was not able to go and march when they took all those pictures and said, hey, we finally defeated Nazi Germany. This is very important. They did not give him his props. He came back after that, and that's when the revolutionary started. That's when he started getting into that mind to go write some of the two best books regarding black ideology. And it shapes a lot of our leaders. It shapes a lot of them today. And what I'm saying to Kai is a message to Kai, man, please stress ownership. Please stress ownership, because I'm not asking you to become this revolutionary after, this coming of age moment or this humbling moment. Man, I just want the ownership. I just want the ownership, because at that point, if you own something and I buy into it, then I own something and it helps me. Or if you want to take it a step further, be a little more community bound, you can anchor that business, Vivette. You say, yo, if we're donating 5 to 10% of every of our revenue per year to this community, black community, Now I know that I'm buying something into my community. Every time I buy you, I buy me. And that's very important for black people to start understanding that ownership, getting funding is not relinquishing ownership. Getting funding from people that don't like you or don't support the same things that you support or don't align with the people that you support, that's when it can get selloutish. You know why? Because they have ulterior motives that might usurp your motives. And at that point, it's not a company for us. It's just a company that has our name on it. So,
yeah, I would want to add, like, also that I feel like what you're saying is great is that the people, when it comes to us, like, supporting, I feel like people need to differentiate critiquing and hating. Like, I'm a big proponent of critiquing. You know me. Like, I'm the first one to be like, I'm not shopping.
They don't know you, though.
You know me, though. So I'm a big critique of, if I go to the shop, let's say I'm going out to the club and it's a $20 entry fee. I'm probably not going to go to that club next week, right? But I'm not going to go ahead and start bashing the club and doing this and that and, you know what I'm saying, making all this noise and this mess. So online I see a lot of people, some streamers, like this guy, he was watching a video of Kai breaking down. He was like with a sewing machine and everything.
They clowning him.
He's like, just show the sweatshops, bro. Like all this performative ass shit. Like, see, you hating. Like I'm not even in the
never
world
worked
like
for something like that.
Yeah,
never been in a lab.
Never been in the lab. Never done nothing like that. And it's like I just feel like you trying to stifle someone's growth. It's just weird to me. You know, it's weird. I seen something on Twitter. It says some shit like, I miss when Kai was just like doing nigga shit, like just nigga every 5 minutes. So it's like, I don't know why people trying to say it's GG, it's on his girl. I'm like, bro, what if he just want to change his life?
Bro,
critique the brand.
That is a young man that knows exactly how to reform himself. Yo, that is a young man that knows how to ride his own wave and ride his own momentum. If he were to be listening to everybody else, he would have been on Kick by now. He would have been with Kick and Aiden Ross. True. And while Aiden Ross is going through all that bullshit and stuff like that, he would have been right next to them if he would have listened to y'all.
True.
But at this point, he's moving to the beat of his own drum, and I'm loving to see it. I'm loving to see it. Because at this point, Streamer University, Mafia-thon, I mean, if y'all don't see how big these productions are.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all don't see how big. Bringing Kevin Hart over to Twitch. Do you know how many people subscribed and downloaded the app Twitch just to watch that stream?
People say they put Kevin Hart on. He put Kevin Hart on because people were saying Kevin Hart wasn't even funny until he hopped on the Twitch streams.
Like
real shit,
like real stuff. Like y'all gotta realize
his career.
Y'all gotta realize how important some of these creators be. I be saying this: creators can save our community. No lie, no lie. They just need help. But yeah, man, I think all the people that's clowning Kai, you've obviously never been in the lab. You've obviously never been in the lab. You never had to pick up a book and start reading it because, man, you need some research.
But you know, it's not even like people. It's like people streaming clowning him. I'm talking about black people streaming and clowning him.
You're talking about the streamers. Shit. That's what I'm saying. But he's not no streamer. That's the whole point. Y'all keep associating these different things. Kai is going to be probably a billionaire. And when I say a billionaire, I'm not trying to say like, I'm just saying that he's going to be bigger than all of these platforms and programs, and you think, and it's because of the way that he's moving and he's riding his own momentum and he's thinking creatively. He's not just thinking what's going to be this next stream like a lot of these streamers are thinking.
Yeah.
It's not what's this next stream, what's this next clip. No. No. And what a lot of young people need to start recognizing, that could be you. Take yourself serious. Take yourself serious. Go read your books. Go do the sewing machine. Go do the hard thing. Do the hard thing. That's what he's doing. That's what he showcased in the last month of him dropping that media pack, is him doing the hard thing. That's the whole point. He was showcasing him in the gym, showcasing him sewing, and showcasing him just being on the beach and just sitting there thinking. A lot of the times, y'all got too much stimulus going on right now that you can't read or you can't think or you can't plot for the next move.
You know what I think it is too? Is like, I feel like it's like Kai is telling all these kids that you need to grow up and mature. Because Kai, like real shit, he was making brain rot content. Not crazy, but like it's very brain rotish. I'm not saying he's a negative person. I think out of all of them, he's probably like the best black content creator that we have. Like he literally probably put black women on in the fact of people used to talk mad shit about black women and be having mad baddies on there every single day. Black
No,
people, you know,
AMP's with that. You know what I'm
saying?
AMP's a huge proponent of that. Facts.
So it's
Facts.
like he literally put black people in places, put them on the map. Like this, he got a whole label. Ray,
Clover
Boys, all of them. These people out here, like this dude.
Even AMP now, like AMP before was obviously Duke Dynasty is huge and Fam and all of them are huge and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, bro, now
he got kids.
Bro,
he got kids everywhere. His nut is every pause.
Okay, bro, stop.
Everywhere. They know I'm like, listen, it's like rapping. It's like young boys like Drake. It's like they got kids, man. Kai got kids, bro. And a lot of these kids are like getting tight because Papa want to go move on with his life. You got to grow up too. You know what I'm saying?
No, for
That's
real.
really what it is.
No,
man.
they really get tight about that. I don't understand, man. I think Kai is moving to the beat of his own drum, and as he should, he's killing it. Kai is killing it. He's been killing it for the last couple of years. I want to see what he does with this fashion brand. Again, I hope I hope you don't relinquish a lot of ownership, man. That's the only thing I ask.
Yeah.
Just don't relinquish a lot of ownership. You know why? Because there's going to be a time where there's people that's going to be looking up to you when you're 30, 40. You see what I'm saying? And they're going to need your help and your assistance at your point right now. And you're going to be able to give that bread, but also that guidance of saying, hey, man, we're at that stage. We're at that stage right now. We have all the information. We have all the knowledge right now. And there's a lot of resources going around. I know you got a network. I know you got a network of people. You don't have to take that money. Take the good money. Okay. And fund it by yourself too. I know you're probably doing that. All right, whatever. All right.
Shit, they probably all crowdfunding, to be honest with you. That whole AMP group, like I heard, like Agent is the one that got the most money. Like Agent's the one that's really balling.
Well, Agent, yeah.
So he's the real.
You can
one.
tell when someone's
like
an investor.
Agent managing Kai, maybe. I don't know. I'm just talking.
You can tell when someone's an investor. For real.
Yeah. So
okay,
yeah,
all right. And to touch on a little bit on more on that, and I feel like J. Cole, what you're seeing right now, and there's a lot of creators that's doing the same thing. J. Cole is going through that same type of fall off where he's at the pinnacle at his career, and now he's like, man, reflecting on it, was it worth it? What did I go through with the industry? Did the people love me, but people also hate me? How am I characterizing this? And I think what we saw, and this is indicative of just how the world is moving. Kai is that example, but he did it in 3-4 years, in all of our faces. You see what I'm saying? That career. Nah, I'm not gonna shoot that. Nah, I think I'm done. I'm out the gym, man. That's something to be proud of and to celebrate first off foremost, because they've achieved greatness. They've achieved greatness, and I'm excited for J. Cole's album and stuff like that. But that's just something that was on my mind. Also, a little bit that's on my mind before we get into this Black Militant versus Revolutionary conversation. Speed going to Africa. And all the different clips I've seen him. I saw Speed with Shaka Bars. Hey, shout it out. I saw Speed with Shaka Bars.
He got no attention. He just in the cut too. I seen it too.
But
I was gonna send that to you too.
Hey, that's beautiful to see. Seeing Shaka Bars and Speed at Ethiopia is amazing to see.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see. Seeing Speed in Kenya and all these different countries within Africa is beautiful to see. You know why? Because there's a lot of little kids that's watching Speed that's being like, hey, nah, Africa's pretty cool. Oh nah, look at all this stuff. And Speed going, look how beautiful Ethiopia is. That's amazing to see.
And a lot of racism too.
Yep.
A lot of his fan base is hugely white. You know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in a year when they out there calling him the R word, end with the R and everything like that. Now they see a real life experience. Oh, what does Africa look like?
Yep.
And I hate using the word Africa because there's countries like we don't say what does Europe look like. How does Ethiopia and Kenya look like? Actually, like they have water. There's corruption, but man, there's corruption everywhere.
Yeah. Did you see the Diamonds clip?
I saw that one. Yeah.
In Botswana. Man, about how roads.
That's a gem.
Yeah.
That's a big root. That's a little stem with a big ass root to it.
Root to it. And man, go make sure y'all are looking at the YouTube videos, man. It's very simple.
Yep.
There's a huge amount of videos on the Botswana diamond stuff that happened from the Rhodes Foundation going into South Africa and all these guys owning it. And you wonder how Elon got brought up. A lot of that is connected.
Yep.
A lot of that is connected. Okay. I want to talk, this is based off of my book that I've been reading, Kwame Ture. Come on, Stokely Speaks. Make sure y'all go cop that for real. This is one of the best books I've read in a while. And the conversation of the Black Militant versus the Black Revolutionary. right? Sadiq, what is the black militant versus the black revolutionary? The black militant is, well, most of these people care about their community, right? They care about the people. They have an undying love for their people, right? But the black militant looks like this is somebody that wants to reform the system. This is somebody that still is willing to die for their people, but wants to reform the systems in different ways that does not look like revolution. A revolutionary wants to deform, dismantle, destroy, and rebuild. That's what the revolutionary wants. In this book, Stokely, Kwame Ture kind of identifies as the black revolutionary. But I wanted to bring this conversation to me and Cenat because, one, we've been talking about this stuff since we were 16. And we think about people within the space that might be a little bit more revolutionary, might be a little bit more militant, right? And when I say militant, as in somebody that's of the system that wants to change, and revolutionary, that's somebody that wants to dismantle, destroy, and rebuild. I think some people in our spaces, right, we might think of like Joshua Discourse. I think he's more of the black militant. I think DeAnte Kyle might be more of the black revolutionary. It's good to make these distinctions because sometimes we have to figure out where our ideology lies and what's the realistic aspects of it. How are we going to get this stuff done? Or we just talk on these podcast mics, or can we get some stuff done? All right, what you think?
I feel like sometimes I'm kind of having trouble like understanding the difference between black militant and revolutionary. Yeah, they're kind of like interconnected.
They're interconnected because they have the same care.
Is the black militant someone? So like
they're both ideally. Hold on, real quick. They're both militant.
Okay, but hear me out, right?
Go
so
ahead.
like 2020, Black Lives Matter. You know, when we got people outside, you're storming streets. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. That's all you're screaming. But in reality, it's like you go home and you basically assimilate very much to white people. Is that what you mean by the militant? Like these people outside, you breaking windows, all of this. You're screaming Black Lives Matter, but in reality, your actions show that Black Lives Matter is really on the back burner.
I would say the black militant is like John Hope Bryant.
You think he's black militant?
Do you see it now? I think John Hope Bryant gives a fuck about his people. I think he cares. I think the way that he cares is I'm going to enact this to change the system.
Okay.
Versus DeAnte Kyle, I care about people, burn that bitch down.
Okay. That was a good parallel.
So you see where I'm
Okay, I see what you're
saying.
saying. I see what you're
so
saying.
It's still a care. It's an undying love for your people.
Yeah.
But how is this going to be? All right. I'll
Okay.
further it a little bit. I think the best way to reform or dismantle this system, and no matter what, the idea is to seize power, take power, find a different way to get more power into black people's hands, because it's so scarce in our hands, is through technology and finances, or technology and capital. I don't think there's a way for us to revolt militarily. I don't think that's going to work. And I think it's different because even I have to contend with this myself in this book, because ultimately Stokely is saying that I'm way too less radical. You know, it's not going to work because I'm trying to aid the system. But it's just, I just don't think it works the same way no more. Like, I think in the 1960s, the technology was completely different. Yes, they always had an abundance of technology, but now the technology is a little bit different. You know, the way that they spy on you is a little bit different. The way that they corrode minds and psychological warfare, but also technological warfare is different. I also don't think as a U.S. people, let's take this off of black people and that conversation, but U.S. people in general, let's say if we had a tyrannical government, I don't think guns is going to stop you from a tyrannical government. I think they have their own unique ways to get you. Taking it back to black people, I don't think that that's our way to do it. Now, should we get armed? Probably, especially in this day and age at this point. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that an armed revolution is going to be the way it happens. I think we need to put our resources into finding the little tech heads or the little people that's going to create an invention that's going to change this world, or ride the wave of inventions that are already changing the world. I know we have a huge conversation about AI, right? And this is where the revolutionary and militant, this is where it converges, right? The revolutionary is going to say, man, AI, F AI, why are we touching this and stuff like that? It is harming our communities. I'd also say AI is already implemented to the point where it's not going to stop because they have had all the conglomerates commit all of their money to it. because it's not going to stop, we now have to find creative ways on implementing it in our own lives to further our stuff. Mm-hmm. That's the way that I think is going to work. But a black revolutionary would say, nah, don't use it. And I think where that black revolutionary conversation can only go and progress is if y'all ready to burn it down. And I don't know if anybody's ever going to be ready to do that or say it.
I don't think anybody's ever going to do that at all. I feel like I really agree with what you're saying. You know, like we were saying, talking before, I like to classify it as conscious capitalism. And what we need to do is really reform the systems already in place. Like, I feel like personally that America's a great country, you know, before Trump. I feel like when I say great country, I'm saying the possibilities. But like it is, because it's like there's a reason why people come to this country. There's a reason why people come here for success. They live their dreams out. Now, but the reason why the niggas left. Hold on. I don't want to cut you off. I know the history. I'm here.
I know you know the history.
I'm here. Okay, because like when my family came here in Jamaica, like I think it was like 1980. Like my mom came over in like 83 and shit. Coming from Jamaica, did Jamaica get fucked on by America? Absolutely. Same with these countless other countries throughout South America. The reason why they fucking walk and cross the southern border back in like 2023, right?
But I guess real quick. But wouldn't people say the same thing about Great Britain? Like during Great Britain, and they colonized all these different places. Everybody still wanted to travel to Britain. Everybody still wanted to be in Britain, be in the empire, make money in the empire. Isn't that always going to be the justification?
True.
Doesn't mean that you're a great country. It just means that this country has the most.
What is great?
It just means that this country has the most access to wealth.
What makes you a great country?
What makes you? Well, it depends.
Because I feel like wealth is a pretty big factor of being great.
No. Wealth is different than access to wealth. I hear what you're saying. Because America is a wealthy country, a lot of people has access to wealth. True. But when we're talking about great, I don't know. I think we haven't seen. I don't know if we've seen a lot of great countries. Because ultimately,
you don't think?
Ultimately, I'm moving for a world without imperialism. I want a world without imperialism. Now, is that going to happen? Maybe, maybe not. But ultimately, we can't say that America was a great country with all the imperialist shit that they've done.
All right, so break down your perspective then, because what is great to you? Because when I think of great, I think of money, I think of power, I think of cultural influence throughout the globe.
Yeah,
right?
but when you say that, it sounds like imperialism.
But I don't think it sounds like. I don't think it's imperialistic in that way. Like, okay, cultural influence, like our music, our movies, American movies,
okay,
throughout the world, our media,
okay, you
right?
getting there,
magazines,
you getting there. Keep going.
Our fashion, things of this nature, I feel are very. That's a part of why America is America, right? Now, military, I feel like also is a part of it being great, right? How America uses its military, I do not co-sign at all. Actually, I think that we should be super isolationist and stay within our bounds, personally. But they gonna do what they want to do, right? So it's like, what can I say? I just feel like you can't sit here and be like, oh, America, it ain't shit because of its crimes. It's like, bro, like I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't
for America.
Yeah. And like, you
wouldn't be here if it wasn't for America.
Type shit. It's a double entendre. I'm
not
gonna lie, but it's like it's literally.
I know. I think. Okay. Backing up. I think we're in a world right now. This is such a great conversation. I think we're in a world right now where we have to contend with how are we going to build in the future, and is this the country that we wanted to build with, and can they let go of all the bullshit that they're doing right now in order to get that building done? Now, in building, what we're talking about, like reforming a system,
yeah,
it can't be imperialist.
I'm not saying for it to be imperialist. Okay,
but the power, but the way that we're thinking about power and what makes you great, and which is money, capital, influence. It's not just influence. I think what you're saying about America, the cultural production side of America, I think that's our best fiat. I think that's our best feature. Mm-hmm. The military side, I think being able to hold different powers off is necessary, right? And stop like not communism rising, but let's say like, you know, if Iran is committing 2,000 deaths of their own people because they're protesting against, that's something that a nation should be able to knock on the door and say, hey, what are you doing? Checks and balances.
So you're
a
for the police? Are you for? Are you saying you're
nation.
for the police state? Are you for America knocking on around the door saying, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing"?
I'm for.
I'm against that. I don't think you should be talking.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is my thing. What's going on in your house? I do not have the right to go over there and be like, "Yo, what's going on, Sadiq? Like, what you doing over here?" And then go in that bitch and just burn that hole.
No. Hold on. You adding.
But you're saying knocking on. You think America could go and knock on their door and do shit? I think that's insane. Like, I feel like they.
Okay, hold on. Let me answer your question.
Go to our respective corners. You know what I'm saying? Unless you out there.
Exactly. That's when it comes. Right? Unless you're out there, what? Genocide? That's what it is. That's what I'm talking about. And that's where it only matters. Here's my thing. I don't think America should be butting in anybody's business. Let me answer your question.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't think America should be butting in anybody's business. No. But I think most countries should be a part of an organization. You would think it's like called like the League of Nations or United Nations. You know, something like that. Just coming up with those names. That they should be a part of something like that. So when atrocities happen in those countries, we should be held accountable, right?
Facts.
Outside of that, no, you should not be butting in people's countries and stuff like that. But I'm saying a nation should be powerful enough to be able to say, hey, if this nation in this organization is doing this BS, we're going to have some power enough to say, hey, let's stop because we all signed up on these accords. You see what I'm saying? That's it. Now, getting back to the reformation of America, I think what we both agree on, low-key, what a lot of revolutionaries might disagree with us on, and I'm open to the conversation. Don't get me wrong. I'm super open to the conversation, is that capitalism should probably be underwritten 40% by, like, democratic socialism, right? You need basic necessities to be to be taken care of, especially within a first world country, right? Like, you can't be a great nation and not have those necessities taken care of. You can't be a great nation in most of the cities I go into, it's homeless people running around the streets. That's a problem, right? Like when we talk about like hyperinflation or selling people out, I don't want to see that in the streets of America. It looks similar.
I just feel like it's just good and bad, but I still feel like America is great. America has to do more. I feel like socialism needs to govern capitalism, basically what you're saying. Yeah. Right?
It got to underwrite it.
Absolutely. Like there needs to be like there's no reason why these billionaires can't just dedicate 10%, just 10% into a fund that can be used, right? You don't do that, then you're getting tight with Mamdani when people are thinking about electing Mamdani for socialism. How you gonna fucking kill these people? You gonna starve these people? These people, they turn around, they say we want socialism, and then you gonna try and demonize these people and try and kill these people? You should have been helping them in the first place. Literally. All you had to do. 2020. If Jeff Bezos was like, hey, I'm going to build affordable housing, water centers. Yeah. There would be no Mamdani.
Simple.
People would not be willing to take half of your wealth if you just literally
gave 5%.
5%. Have a little trust fund. Give it to the government.
Yo.
Y'all don't want to get taxed, right?
Yo.
Okay, so do it yourself.
Yo, I can't.
Do it yourself.
Let me see what's 5% of 725 million. Oh, 725 billion. That's like Elon's, right?
I think so, yeah. That's it's like 10 billion or something, 30 billion, some shit.
37 billion dollars. 5% of Elon's wealth is $37 billion, man. Think about that.
Yo, I think I saw some shit in like Texas where it's like it's still debatable for kids to have free lunch. Real shit. Why is that even a conversation?
That is not a great nation. That is not a great nation.
I still think it's a great nation, but it's just why are we
isolationism? Not even isolationism. I think the way that our capitalist system is moving, right, is capitalism and imperialism feeds each other, right? It feeds each other, which is why socialism and underwriting it, I think like the reason why we can't do away with capitalism completely is because people like competition. right? It also helps with innovation. I know a lot of people don't like people saying that, but it does, right? And it gives people to work for something on some real stuff. When people are able to, be able to build their business, like a lot of people think about capitalism is just debt. It's just risk, right? The ability to say, hey, I want to go take out this loan and go build a business. But when that loan is taken out by a bad bank, and when that business can't be formed correctly and have an opportunity to prosper, that's where the American dream just starts to wither and wither away. And I think that's why you need to underwrite it ultimately with socialism, because we've gotten to a point where there's so much imbalance on the everyday person within the American people that ideal or dream to go search for is not there. Now, as black people, we need to have that conversation is this going to be the place? Because ultimately, I might be on some Pan-Africanism stuff and say, we're going to build it over there. Because at this point, America, I feel like it's showing its ass. It obviously does not want us immigrants. Look at America first. What do they want? What's the image of America that they're going for? All right, I've been talking a lot. You go.
Okay. I think that, like, true, right? There's a lot. They don't want us here. Clearly, they do not want us here at all. They are not fucking black people, Spanish people, all that. But in the same breath, it's like, okay, are they going to do a drone strike in New York City? Will they do a drone strike in Lagos, Nigeria? Probably.
That is true.
Probably.
But if
they would smoke that whole out. They did it already.
But if we
top half of Nigeria.
Yeah, but if we built out, that was with Nigerian authorities. I'm just saying.
True.
If we built out a nation like Ghana or like Nigeria that is a little bit less, or
like a Singapore, like Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we're a little bit different. In addition to that, I agree with you that a drone strike's not going to happen, but that's not the reason. That sounds like you moving without. You see what I'm saying?
I just feel like at the beginning stages, you can't have massive corrections, right? You can't just go from. I feel like it's similar to people who don't look at politics because they think it's just not going to affect them, right? They don't have a political opinion because they think it's just not affecting. Oh, it's not affecting me. It's not my life. Whatever. You deal with it, and it's like. You are trying to disassociate from reality, but reality is the environment, and the environment is always going to shape the individual, right? So I think that if people just got up, left, say, oh, fuck America, wherever we go to Ghana, it's like we're shooting ourselves in the foot. This is like, okay, I could use my own example. I want to move. I want to go to New York City. I want to get the fuck out. I ain't broke as shit. Now, yeah, I could hop on the train after this episode and just take the Amtrak to Texas to New York City. I would be homeless for months. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there needs to be strategy in some way. Like, it can't be a complete just shift.
This is what I think. We got creators. We got a lot of wealth in our community. A lot. I think there needs to be one conversation that's happening. Hopefully there's conversation that's happening. We know, we're on a low level. So maybe we're not part of those conversations, but hopefully it's happening. Conversation is happening about not only marrying our wealth together, finding a way to say, hey, quantify, how much do we really have? And at that point, what would it look like to migrate this wealth? We need to think industry. We need to think exports, imports, simple stuff like that. If we're going to a place like a Sierra Leone or like a different, like smaller African countries, we can't just go over there and colonize. You see what I'm saying? Like, we can't just go over there and be like, oh, we're going to build. Nah, you got to invest.
Facts.
You got to invest.
And accept the culture, too.
Exactly. Very simple. Very simple. And I think we already know that as a diaspora. Like, we're pretty good with that. But that's something that we need to make sure. But ultimately, if we're going to start building, I know EYL is building in Ghana, San Branson, stuff like that. But Africa is obviously going to be one of the continents that everybody's going to be looking at in the next 30 years. Population is growing. Obviously, they got resources. And obviously, a lot of these countries are starting to practice some isolationist stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think if we as a people are not only thinking about people from here, but also people over there, how are we marrying wealth? How are we investing into their industries so that we have a little bit of a part? So it's not just colonial powers investing into their industries or the Chinese government investing into these industries. It's us. And how do we make those connections? How do we make those, partnerships to further us.
And I think that wealth has to be created in America, though. Honestly,
I agree. I agree.
Unless it's bitch
the wealth is
falls.
already here, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, we think about our industries that we dominate, music. You know, let's just say creator industry, not even artist industry. Right?
Yeah.
Like or like federal jobs as well. You know, we got wealth in different places, and you know, I've been seeing it within the investing space. So there's wealth surrounding it. Siphoning that money off, I agree with you, starts here.
Yeah.
But in 30 years, who knows? Because the way that Trump is moving with the U.S., we've been printing a whole bunch of money. Who knows how that value is changing? I've been seeing the CD been appreciating over the dollar. OD. It's not Ghana 4 years ago.
You said
the CD.
That's
That's their dollar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, has been appreciating a whole lot.
Okay.
A whole
CD.
lot. It's been appreciating a whole lot. From when I was there, we were getting good stuff for the low. It's not the same anymore, which is good. Which means that the country is progressing somewhat, and the industries are progressing. I just think when we're talking about the black revolutionary and the black militant, it's important to think about what are realistic ways of us getting this done. I gave the example of Kai. If Kai wanted to anchor a lot of his wealth in the community, he can do so. If a lot of our creators, if Drewski, Joe Budden, and Kai Cenat said 10% of our revenue from this year alone is going to these communities, within our communities, a lot of things would change. And it'd be very scary at first, but then when Jay-Z do it, then when EYL does it.
Or you getting taxed. You getting taxed out your mind. Like, you gotta stop that selfish shit.
It's simple. When you're it's self-preservation at this point, self-survival, right? And I think revolution looks a lot different, as I said, you know, tech and capital.
I think culture too. Being very
of course
Afrocentric, like coming back to
of
your
course
roots.
an undying love for your people.
Yeah, like you guys stop the coonery. You gotta stop the coonery. You gotta stop it. I'm sorry, like this shit is insane. That Karen about to die, but I can't forget when that boy came up to me and him talking about how we young niggas
David Shands?
No, I'm not talking about David Shands. I'm talking about when we was at the club that night.
Oh,
one nigga, he called us Cardi. He said like Cardi's a young nigga or some shit. We look like young niggas. All right.
Wait, hold on. Back it up. We were at a bar. We're in our hometown, right? Me and him were just having a drink. We're talking. This guy comes up to us. You know, he's a little bit taller, little mixed kid.
Yeah.
Comes up to us. He's like, what is he? He's like, oh, these are YNs. These are YNs.
Yeah. Then he looks to the left to his white boy for a laugh, you know.
And at that moment, mind you, I have, it's summertime. I have on jean shorts with a white mesh shirt. Mesh. I'm telling you, like I look, like I don't even look like close to a YN, mind you.
Yeah, I think
the archetype of a YN.
Yeah, I had like my Timbs on. I was wearing all black. I'm not gonna lie, but that does not make you a YN. You know, and the people who say that haven't been around them type of niggas. I know them type of niggas. Okay, for some reason, I'm always in close proximity with these. Did I tell you about?
Hold on, wildin', bro. You're wasting 7 minutes and you're wilding.
Okay.
I think the ultimate conversation that he's trying to get at is the YN, coon chip, etc. Right? This is something that we came in contact when we were young, right?
Yes.
And we labeled it ourselves as the coon chip. Frantz Fanon would say it's just psychological warfare. You see what I'm saying? But we labeled it as the coon chip. Something where, as you're a kid, you're engulfed by whiteness. You start to idolize white girls over your own people.
That's it. Yep.
You start to idolize capitalism. What's the strings of capitalism? Oh, let me go into these different industries, finance, tech, etc. That only goes through bridge programs, that only plucks out a certain type of people, but most of your people is left back at home. And that's not the same experience that most black people go through. Is your experience. It's not the same experience. And that's what I mean by the coon chip. It's a lot of psychological effects in your mind that causes you to always revert back to supporting a system that keeping your people down.
I think the coon chip is something that's more temporary, right? It's something that comes up just like flashpoints. You know, you see a black woman outside, you know, for some reason you're disgusted by her. She fine, but you're just disgusted by her. You see the white shorty over there, and there's some type of like it's very potent. Actually, that's cooning. That's cooning. The coon chip is more like
His hands is mad ashy.
you go. Let's say you outside. You make a joke about me, about my hair, and for some reason you make the joke and you look at your master to the side of you. Interesting, right? Why are you trying to make white people laugh through racial jokes? Underline, bolded, through racial jokes. Kind of weird, right?
Facts.
Shit like that is weird. Now, I've been through my own coonish tendencies. I've had coon chip tendencies.
Well,
you know, I had my heart stolen at a young age. I almost crashed out. You know what I'm saying? Young age, I was fucked up as a kid.
Bro.
But this is the thing too. Let me just add.
Let me
add this too. Also, between the coon chip and the coon can't recognize what he's doing. The coon is seen with information and he just ignores it. The coon chip is you realize it and you are wanting to decolonize your mind. I
disagree with that.
I think so.
I think the coon chip is something that you are ignorant to. This is something as a kid. This is what a lot of young black boys, if they're not engulfed by their own community, is subject to. You are ignorant to it. You don't notice it. So those jokes start to come up like African booty scratcher and where's the white milk at? No, I only do snow bunnies. Those were the jokes comes up.
Yeah.
And you're ignorant to all the stuff that you're saying that is really putting you and a lot of the black boys around you in that mind state and keeping that psychological warfare. Now, the coon, I feel like it's very aware. A coon, they're like, nah, man. It's like Myron. It's like
Tim Scott.
Who?
Tim Scott?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, fuck.
So be careful.
That's that political
shit. Random
shit.
names. But those are people that are very aware of what they're saying and what they're doing, but they are okay with supporting a system that knows that's going to keep you people down.
Yeah.
You people as in our people down. And that's the problem. I think the coon chip is like more of like little black boys that just don't know what they're saying, don't know what they're doing.
You're making slave jokes.
You're making slave jokes,
yeah.
But then it comes up as you're moving up in the world. Or let's say you go to college. All right, you go to college, you're not making those slave jokes anymore, but now you're engulfed by, let's say, an internship program. All those interns around you are white kids. And they making jokes, and they making little jokes that was internet jokes when you were a kid, but now those jokes are starting to be real life. And that joke is an example of what he's saying about the YN, about those guys, that guy that came up to us and started calling us YNs. We didn't have no clothing on that even insinuated that at all. He just wanted to call us niggas.
And I feel like honestly, it was more of a subconscious thing. Mm-hmm. Like it was.
He didn't even know what he was doing.
It was like him raising his hand.
He wanted to make friends by doing that.
This is what I'm saying, though. It's deeper. It's the psychology of you step in a room with a whole bunch of black people, and for some reason you feel threatened. You get in a room full of white people, you feel like you're next to God. You know, it's shit like that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. It's those things. It's like, you need to think about how you feel when you're in black spaces. Think about how you feel when you're in white spaces. And if you feel threatened, that's the coochie going off. Now, yes, there are niggas out here that there are some. But if you see me coming in black, skinny as hell, you know what I'm saying? I'm just chilling, vibing. I'm over there just eating my food. And you look at my ass and you're like, oh, he about to steal something. Like, that's questionable, if that makes sense. Very questionable.
And I think what he's talking about is just the mindset that a lot of our young boys do have, right? And young girls, but not the same clip for real. But young boys that a lot of, that grow up with, especially when you're not engulfed or have that undying love for your people. Yeah. That's going to come up a lot more. And we're speaking about this from experience, right? Like we both came to that coming of age moment at that time, during high school, during COVID, when we start to actually, realize what the world is going through and the systems that we're playing into. But now we're grown. And a lot of y'all that are listening to this are grown. Yeah. So you got no excuse. Yeah. Cut that.
Yeah, love yourself.
Love yourself. Love your people.
Love your mom.
An undying love for self, an undying love for people and survival and preservation and your people, and make sure you go back to your motherland so you understand where your people come from.
Love your cousins,
and love thy neighbor too, man.
Love it.
I'm not here to put no hate out there, etc.
I had a cousin prime example. I had a cousin. Okay, so prime example that I have of the coon chip. Certain individual I'm in the car with. He goes, "You still with that girl?" I said, "Yeah, I love her. She's my baby."
Hey,
I don't know. Why you like dark skin so much? Coon chip. Coon chip.
Come on.
Coon chip.
Talk about it.
Oh, I like my girls light, look good, you know what I'm saying?
Hair.
Curly hair, all that. Ain't no wrong with the light skin. I like light skins too, right? And he's light skinned as well, right? But he's black. These are things that is a prime example of, he probably didn't even notice what the fuck he just said. Because these dark skins are ugly.
There's people at 30 doing that. There's people at 35 not even knowing that's problematic for themselves.
Exactly.
That's self-hate.
Exactly.
That's self-hate.
Exactly. Love yourself.
Psychological warfare. Stop getting your minds, man, caught up in that BS, bro.
Yes.
Like, I can't, at this point where I'm at, too, but I can't even, like, hear that and be fine. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's going to irk me in my soul. I got to say something now. You just probed it. I got to say something now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So keep that with you as you move, And a lot of times, this is perfect. A lot of times, that feeling that you always got to, like, fight back a little bit, it doesn't mean to be, like, rude about it and stuff like that. Sometimes it just takes a couple more questions to inquire about it. What do you mean by that? What do you mean, why do I like dark skins?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by that? And start asking those questions. Ask those questions specifically. But as you get into different rooms and rooms that don't really look as much as you, and you don't have your boys there and question you and stuff like that, but that joke still gets cut. And people still ask you that question. Oh, what happened with the white girls and stuff like that? Man, that's where integrity is. That's where integrity lies. Is what are you going to be doing when, man, it's just 30 of them and it's just you and they're making those jokes? How are you going to operate and how are you going to act? A lot of the times, man, we're going to cower a little bit. I don't want y'all to cower. I want y'all to be able to stand on you and your people, because we're an amazing people, man. It's an undying love. It's an undying love.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
You good?
I'm good. I'm just thinking about it. I love what you're saying, and I feel like, people should have these conversations more. When you be cooning, when's the coon chip being activated? Shit. Maybe you should make a series about that. Coon chip vlogs,
Actually,
where we interview people on when their coon chip was triggered. Now I have had it.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll talk about my own personal coon chip because I don't want to make it seem like I'm a savior. I literally told the girl that I'm in with right now, I told this woman that I literally want light-skinned babies with curly hair. No, keep it in. Because this is my testimony. I'm serious. This is my testimony. Like,
I think you talk about
literally, this was like earlier on. I literally told Shirley.
Earlier on, like years ago.
Yeah. I literally told her, I said, I want light-skinned babies. Dark-skinned woman, female. I love her. She's my baby. But coon chip.
And think of
you don't even see it. You don't even see it. You want a light-skinned baby. Like, why is that even? Nothing wrong with having light-skinned children. But it's like, is that a requirement? You know what I'm saying?
And
that's what it is.
And imagine saying that to a dark-skinned woman. Like,
yeah.
What is she going to do with that? How is she going to have to contend with that? You see what I'm saying? And she kept his stupid ass. But like, think about that. Like, think about your counterpart saying that to you. And we have a lot of black boys saying that to a lot of black girls. We do. And that cannot be a thing.
You didn't have to say he stayed with his stupid ass.
Cut
that out. You didn't have to say that.
You gotta let me get my show.
You didn't have to say that down, did you?
You gotta let me get my show. What's the last point? Oh, yes. Last thing. I did want to say as well. So regarding the coon chip, why I wouldn't make it a series is because I did a paper called The Coon Chip, right, in my first year of school. This is off of like a lot of the conversations we were having at the same time. And I got to the conclusion that calling people a coon or calling people that have a coon chip or whatever is just not progressive. Ultimately, it's not going to be labeling people is not going to help. It's not going to unify a lot of people, even though I think it's important that you could say it about yourself. Like, we speaking about it like, damn, we had that coon chip ourselves. We were thinking about that as a kid and saying all these BS stuffs and stuff like that we don't align with now. But I don't think it's on us now to be saying it for people at that point. I just don't think it's unless it's like Myron. You know, I think like at that point, you know, let it off. But most people, I think you gotta be careful too, because you don't want to be calling and running around calling people different things, and ultimately that they're in their own process, and this is psychological warfare ultimately, and we need to be, you know, sensitive to our own people.
And I think also what you're saying too, you run around calling people coons, but like you don't actually understand what it's saying. Like I think sometimes people mix up people who give critiques, right? Critique is a form of support done in the right way without bashing, obviously. But if someone's critiquing a black business, say, or a black artist, right, in a respectful manner, that's not cooning. That's improving the market, if you ask me.
It depends on timing.
Depends on timing, yes. It does. Depends on your way you're saying, your tone, everything. But that's how you keep swords sharp. You feel what I'm saying? And what you were saying about the coon thing, right? Calling people coons. I guess there's some dissonance in what I'm saying. The book that you're telling people to read, that man is telling people to go ahead and off them. So
you have to say that. Okay.
But that's a quote. That's a quote. Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael.
I'm gonna cut this out.
Okay. All right.
No. I know what you're saying. It is saying that, and I agree with. To be honest, I have to contend with my own revolutionary leaders. That's a fact. You gotta have your own stuff. I do think 1968 is completely different. You know, they just went through the civil rights movement, so it is completely different than today. So I don't think it needs to be the same extent. But the ideology is the same. He says before that, then he says that's the worst. That's the last resort.
Yeah.
But before that, it's all about unity and patience. And that's what we need to practice when it comes to a lot of the people that's going through that psychological warfare in their own mind. Man, unity and patience. I have a lot of patience with my friends. Sometimes they don't have patience with me. I think that's what it is when it comes to a lot of like political topics. I do have a lot of energy to talk politics, so I guess that's different than most people. But I'm gonna have the energy to make sure you're not in an echo chamber.
Oh yeah.
I have the energy for that. Trust. I'll bring the little, hey man, I'll get the little text and be arguing while I'm on the train or arguing while I'm doing something. It's gonna be like that.
Sometimes you go to Brooklyn, New York, man. Brooklyn, New York changed your life. Brooklyn, New York changed my life.
What is wrong?
You go to Brooklyn, New York, and you go to that.
Being go by people.
You go to Flatbush Avenue.
Stop.
Or No Strain? Is it No Strain?
He don't even know what he's talking about.
I'm from PK. I'm a Poughkeepsie baby. I'm an upstate baby.
All right. I love y'all. Gen Z, you already know what it is. It's not a podcast, man. We're going to have him a couple more times soon. Maybe not. You probably got us canceled. It's not a podcast. It is a show. I love y'all. See y'all next week. Gen Z, what is up, man? What is up? See y'all next week.